This meeting is being recorded.
Okay, so just a quick thing as well. When we looked at the straight line graph with this y equals something x, so 2x plus 4, we would know then that it starts here at 4.
Yes.
That's fine as long as we have it in this format, but they're not always as generous as to give us it in this y format where we have y by itself. So what we need to do is another thing we have to just know how to do is to get it in that format. So what we have to do, we see that the y is not by itself. So we have to then say 12y equals 48, and we have to take the 60 across.
Okay. So it becomes a negative.
That's excellent. And then finally, the 12 is not by itself, so we have to divide everything by 12.
Yes.
And so it becomes y equals 48 over 12 is 4, and then minus 4. And so what that would look like is, yes, it would go down, it would be intercepted 4, but the negative 5x means that it slopes downwards like that.
Oh.
Another little tip is if you want to know what this value is, because we know that it hits this one at 4 because the 4 is by itself, but we don't know where it intercepts the x-axis. All we need to do is simply make y 0. Because you see that if this is x and this is y, you see y over here is 0. We see that over here, along here, y is 0, right? Because y goes, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. And so it actually cuts this axis where y is 0. So to know what this point is, we simply put a 0 here where we see a y. And then to solve, we have to now take the 5x across, become plus 5x. And then we need the x by itself, so we divide by 5 on both sides. And so we have x is equal to 4 over 5. So we know that this point here is 4 over 5. Okay, so the main point of that, not so much getting the x-intercept, but knowing how to get into the format of y equal negative 5x plus 4. If I was to write this the way we normally see it, it's actually y equals negative 5x plus 4, because our c normally goes at the end. Okay, so when you see something like this, we need to get it in the form of the y in order to know where the y-intercept is and where it starts. We could, if we wanted to, not necessarily get it in that form. And that is another little thing, a handy thing to know is when you want to find the place where the y-intercept, you make x equal to 0. So another way to get it to 4 is, you see where we have 60x, just make that 0. And so that goes away and you have 12y equals 48. And then you divide both sides by 12, you get y equals 4. So you don't necessarily have to get into this y equals
2x plus 4.
Yeah, or minus 5x plus 4 over here. And the same for this. To get the 4 over 5, we could have just made the y bit 0. And so you have 60x equals 48. And when you divide both sides by 60, 48 over 60 also happens to just be 4 over 5. So you can find the x and the y-intercept if it's like this by just making the other thing 0. So when you want the x-intercept, if you want the x-intercept, you take that away. If you want the
take the y away.
Yeah, and if you want the y-intercept, you take that away.
Okay.
Okay, so I will put both of these videos up so that you can have a look, and I'll send you links. But yeah, let's get back to the actual questions.